Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your personal generative AI podcast. Today, we're diving into a spicy critique of literate programming, specifically Knuth's approach. It's a hot take.
Oh boy, here we go. I've always wondered if literate programming lived up to the hype. So what's the main beef with Knuth's method?
The author argues that Knuth, while brilliant, prioritized beautiful typesetting over logical code organization. Think about it. Beautiful PDFs are great, but if the code structure is a mess, the typesetting is just lipstick on a pig.
I see. So is it like prioritizing aesthetics over functionality?
Exactly. The article uses examples from Knuth's own work. Hashtag includes scattered at the top, jumping across abstraction layers without explanation. It's a real mess. It's like starting a novel with the epilogue.
Haha, that's a great analogy. So what's the proposed solution? Just, better organization?
Yeah, but it goes deeper than that. The author suggests that we focus too much on the passive, static nature of the generated documents. These beautiful PDFs are essentially static snapshots. You can't easily modify them, debug within them, or run them interactively.
Right, it's like a museum piece, not a working tool. You can admire it, but you can't touch it.
Precisely. The author advocates for a more interactive approach, using plain text formats that are easily editable and integrated into a programmer's workflow. Think of it as a living document that evolves with the code. Imagine the possibilities.
So instead of a beautifully typeset book, it's more like a well-organized, actively used notebook? I'm starting to get it. But isn't there some value in the visual appeal of those beautifully typeset documents?
I see your point, and the author acknowledges that. But the argument is that the beauty of the code itself should shine through its clear structure and logical flow, not just through fancy fonts and formatting. Ultimately, it's about readability and maintainability. It's a trade-off,
Interesting. So it's less about the final presentation and more about the process of writing and understanding the code?
Exactly. It's about creating a system that supports the programmer's workflow, not just a pretty document for others to passively read. And that's why the author suggests focusing on a simpler, text-based approach, prioritizing the organization and logic of the code over the visual presentation.
That's a pretty radical shift in perspective. I mean, Knuth is Knuth. But it makes sense when you think about how we actually use code. Thanks for walking me through this.
My pleasure. And to our listeners, thanks for tuning in to Tech Bytes and News. Until next time, keep those code bases organized. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.